Hey guys, welcome to this another n8n tutorial out here. And in this particular video, I'm going to show you how I created a very specific workflow security workflow that actually protects my webhook from unauthorized access without a key. So let me first show you how I did and what I did. So basically, this is a workflow that I have created. So what it does is that it puts a bouncer in front of your webhook. So every request that arrives has to show a secret key. If the key is right, the request goes through and gets a normal answer. If it's wrong or missing, the request is turned away with a 401 and never reaches the rest of your workflow. So this is like the thing most and beginners don't realize that a webhook URL is a public door. The moment you publish one, anyone who knows or guesses that address can trigger your workflow as many times as they like. So that what actually matters more than it sounds. So your workflow might write to a database, send email, calls a paid AI model, or kick off an order. An unprotected webhook means a stranger can run all of that on your bill or flood you with junk data. And webhook URLs leak easily. They get pasted into Slack, hard coded into a front end, committed to GitHub, or logged by some middleman. So the professional habit is simple: never expose a webhook without a check in front of it. That's exactly what this particular workflow is. So let us see this into action. So as you can see, this is very simple. For example, let's say if someone tries to access the webhook without any API key, you can see it throws an error like false, invalid, or missing API key. So what you will need to do is simply use the API key if you wish to activate this particular workflow. As you can see right here, if the key is provided, as you can see, this is the key. If that is provided, you can see the access granted message right here. And how I change the key is where I will show you when I explain you in this. So basically, this remains same. If someone accesses without the key, it will show an error. If someone accesses it with a key, it will let them access this particular webhook. So now let me explain you all of the nodes and what they basically do. So here we have the first node, the trigger node, which is the webhook node. So it is same like a webhook node. It basically creates the address localhost 5678 webhook, and it secures, it basically wakes the workflow and when someone knocks. But this time we care more about than just the fact that someone arrived. Every incoming request carries extra baggage with it. The headers, like which are like invisible technical labels a client attaches, and the query parameters. The webhook node handles all of that to the next node. That's the raw material the bouncer expects. So let us see the next node. So this is the valid key. So basically, this is the bouncer. It's an if node. If the same kind, that we can saw in one of my different projects that I created. What makes it, slightly clever is where it looks. The expression is like this, as you can see, that is JSON dot headers x API key, and this ones. So this particularly means or this particular expression. So as you can, so basically it first checks for a header called x API key, and if there isn't one, it fails back to a key in the URL. Headers are how real software sends credentials because they stay out of your browser history and server logs. The URL option exists so you can demo this. So I can, basically demo this particular thing. So this is where it all happens. And apart from that, if I'll just, to make it more clear, you can see it right here. This is how it looks like. Then we have the other two nodes. The first one is, the allow node. So as you can see, this is basically the content of this. What it does is that this is the like come on and reply. Right now it just returns a friendly success message with a timestamp because there is nothing else to do yet. But in real use, this is a placeholder making where your actual workflow belongs. So the database write, the AI call, the order food processing, whatever you add goes between the if node and this particular response. And in response to this, we also have, the another one, which is like the deny node. So this is the not tonight reply, and the important detail is the response code. Both of these are the same kind of node, but this one has its response code set to 401, which is the internet's official way of saying that you are not authorized for this particular webflow. So basically, what here we can see is that in one flow is that it is a request arrives, the webhook passes along its header and query. The if node compares the key against your secret, matched request gets continued and get a 200, whereas everyone else, get a 401 and goes no further. So basically, this is what here it is. So now about the same, like how you can change your key is defined by this particular parameter. As you can see, the value is equal to this one. Now, let's say I want to change my password. Let's say the password should be 1234. And now you can see that if I will simply refresh this one, you can see that it is still getting access. This is because the workflow I'll need to maybe publish again. I'll just simply publish it. And now you can see that the workflow has been published. And now if I will, just refresh this, you can see that it is now showing this particular key as invalid. But instead, if I type in the key as 1234 and hit the enter button, you can now see that the access has been successfully granted. So this is how basically you can secure your webhooks in any n8n instance or workflow. So that was pretty much it about this particular video. Thanks for watching and have a nice day.